famous Jiggy Jaguar radio program, broadcasting live from Hutchinson, Kansas. Call Jiggy right now, 267-22-JIGGY.
He's realizing Jiggy Jaguar is better than me.
Is that right?
I'm totally serious about that, too.
Presenting Jiggy Jaguar.
Yes, indeed. We are back live, coast to coast, border to border. Thanks for tuning in to the big broadcast with live video at our website, JiggyJaguar.com. And, of course, 2 Central, 3 Eastern, 12 Pacific, 1 p.m. Mountain Standard, and, of course, 24/7 over there at JiggyJaguar.com and our on-demand archived audio, because, of course, we can't say the P word. It is available on iHeartRadio and 50-plus AM/FM stations across the country and around the world. We have got a great guest joining us here on our big, big broadcast. The fantastic, amazing Stephen Steele with us. How are you, Stephen? He might not be able to hear me. He might be...
Are you there?
There we are. I got you. Stephen, how are you, sir? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. happy to be here.
So Stephen, you have got quite the piece of business here. By the way, check out StephenSteeleBooks.com. That is StephenSteeleBooks.com. And Stephen joins us live here on our big, big broadcast. The Trouble with Miracles is the latest from Stephen, and he has also got a myriad other books. We will talk about a lot of them here on our program. He's also got the Organ Grinder Factor and the Canistar Factor. And he joins us here on the telephone. First of all, the Canistar Factor. Let's talk a little bit about this. This is an incredible book. Tell us all about it, my friend.
Well, my book. Well, the Canistar Factor is about an inexpensive, organically grown cure for viral diseases that Big Pharma makes illegal. Canistar cures everything from cancer to coronavirus to the common cold, and Big Pharma has it taken off the market.
Wow!
So that's the background or the palette, the tapestry, if you will, for the story. My books are first and foremost action suspense thrillers with endearing characters involved in breathless adventures. All 3 of my books are inspired by real-world events, by the horrors of everyday reality in the U.S. and around the world. And so each book has an element of fiction in it. In the first book, it's this organically grown cure for viruses that Big Pharma will kill to stop, and that has a lot of parallels to what we've just been through with the pandemic. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you. So this book, the Canistar Factor. Talk to me a little bit about your writing process for this book.
The writing process is just a minute-to-minute pure joy. Now, my mother she was born in Kansas during the Depression, moved to Oklahoma, Enid, Oklahoma. And so my parents grew up in a different world. And they didn't want their children to have to go through everything they went through.
Yeah.
So as a result, I was raised without the necessities of survival and indulged and pampered. So it took me a long, long time to grow up, if you will. And if my father had been a writer instead of a salesman, I wouldn't have had to spend all those years trying to sell something instead of writing my books, which is what I knew I wanted to do literally in the 5th grade.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We have got a great guest with us today. He joins us live here on our big broadcast, the Canistar Factor, a miracle cure for viruses that Big Pharma will kill to stop. The author joins us today, Stephen Steele, and he is absolutely amazing. So you have got the Canistar is basically the first book in a 3-book. A little bit about the series.
The series, as I said, involves one element of the fantastical or fiction. In each one, they're painstaking to research. The first one, as I was saying, in the protagonist trying to gift this miracle plant to the world that ranges all over the country, or all over North America, actually. And in the second book, the Canistar Factor, the organ grinder factor, it ranges all over Africa and Israel. It's set amid the real-world horrors of child slavery in Africa, and it's a horrifying situation that's been going on forever. And ultimately, among the ongoing chaos and conflict between the Palestinians and the Israelis in Israel. So again, that's all of the reality of it. In this case, ultimately, it's about the organ grinder, which is a 3D printer that replaces human organs without the need for surgery. And ultimately,
Wow.
the female protagonist in it, her life hangs by a thread because after a bomb attack in Israel, because it's never been tested on a human being. And meanwhile, the male protagonist is being held captive in Palestine and not knowing if she's dead or alive.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very exciting story, and I'm getting great reviews on it. The third book is really fun. It's about the discovery of the ancient secret to fusion energy in a desperate race to keep it out of the wrong hands. It ranges from Chile's high northern desert to the magic and mystery of Easter Island and the Easter Island statues. The real-world elements of this is it dramatizes China's inexorable drive to control the world's natural resources, in this case lithium for electric car batteries, and poses a very challenging philosophical question, which is man really ready to be responsible for fusion energy, which is a power that could, of course, solve air pollution and climate change forever. But it could also be used to turn the Earth to space dust in a heartbeat. So, right? So the scientists at the Lawrence Livermore Laboratory for the Development of Nuclear Weapons, they tend to leave off the latter part of their title when they talk about themselves, recently created fusion here on Earth for the first time. It's been all over the news. But the unintended consequences of the discovery and the moral dilemma it poses are really frightening. And this is the moral dilemma that's presented to the characters in this particular book. Each book has a whole host of endearing characters that people really like. A lot of people talk more about the about the supporting characters than they do about the protagonist, but everyone has something about the books that they like. But I don't mean to go on and on, but
No, you're good. That's why you're here, brother, is to talk.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I have a friend from Kansas who just passed away. That was his expression. Appreciate you. He's a good old.
It is a great guest. He joins us live here on our big broadcast. So, take me through your writing process for your books. What does that entail?
Well, I've found, and as an artist, you grow, you evolve, and I'm not. And you can be a painter, you can be a dancer, you can be a musician, You could be a surgeon. It doesn't matter. You know, if you grow and evolve, then you are truly in the place that you're supposed to be. You found your one gift, and my
Yes.
one gift in this lifetime happens to be the writing. And I'm not the same person that wrote the first book. I'm not the first person that wrote the second book. I'm not even the person that wrote the third book, because you change, you grow, and you become a different person.
Yes.
You're an artist. But basically, what I've discovered is, for me, I need to know where this darn story is going before I start writing it. I need to know. I need to have a destination at the end of the map. I got to get to Lawrence, Kansas. Now, whether I go the northern route or the southern route depends on the weather. A lot of things, and a lot of things could happen along the way. Black ice, hurricanes.
I wish we could talk longer, my friend, but I've got my next guest who's going to call me here in just a few moments. I hate to cut you off, brother, but where can we get your books? Let's start there. Where can we get the books?
My books can be found